and welcome to Deer Camp as we stalk into episode 5, Tree Stand Safety. We're the East Coast Boating Podcast this is D-Rock with my fellow hooligans.
Trevor Berwick.
Ryan Tomlinson.
This episode is brought to you by Shabine Brewing, CT's finest craft beer, the Hunter's Beer, in Wolcott, Connecticut. 100 Demons, East Coast hardcore music known worldwide. Check out their merch at www.shopshogun.com. Trev's Euros for all your Euro needs. Made possible by CT Bowhunting, CT's #1 source for bow hunting. We are here as always to bring you new and old hunters back into the woods through our stories of experience and knowledge of playing and slaying. Come on into Slay Studio, hiding in the mountains of God's heaven. How we doing, fellas?
Doing well, feeling well.
Nice. How you feeling over there, Ryan?
Feeling good.
That's good, man. You guys hit it a little hard earlier today, huh?
Yeah, we hit the stand. Ryan was out in the morning. I ended up having to go to work for a little bit, and then I met up with him around noon, and we got into the tree stand.
We hiked far.
Cool.
I think that's an understatement, but
Nice. So, we just wanted to shout out all the people out there, all the supporters that continue to listen week in and week out, and we're definitely doing our hardest diligence to get the content out there and have a podcast each week. And we started something last week that we started talking about is the tree stand harness donations. It's actually going very well. It's an awesome charity. You can contact us at www.eastcoastbowhuntingpodcast@gmail.com, or you can easily email or message D-Rock or Trev. And if you could get message through Ryan, and that makes it to us, then you might get a little something special because that's
You can definitely give it a shot. It's worth it.
they can find him. He's getting tagged in things,
I'm there.
so
Right,
he's
right.
doing it.
But yeah, you can contact us through social media, and then we'll follow up with an address wherever you want to donate, so you can donate to us as well.
Yeah.
Or if you have a story out there and you desperately need one for whatever reason, whether you're a young buck getting in the sport or a newbie getting in the sport, or simply you just need a lending hand, we'll help you out.
Or if you have a college, you're on a college budget, because we've seen that a couple of times. So
Right. We'll shout him out later in the episode, actually. He's one of the few stories that we got out there, and they're starting to pile up, Trev.
yeah, I know, man. Actually, let me shout out to the people who have donated. Kyle Landers, he donated 2 so far. We got Jimmy McDermott, he sent in 1. Randy Senior down in Terryville, he donated 3, and our good friend Matt Scranton, he also donated another 3. So
That's pretty cool.
so we're stacking them up over here.
Yeah, that's badass. We really appreciate everyone out there doing that. And what we do in turn is we collect them, and out of our own pocket, we donate to the charity ourselves by shipping out these harnesses to all these people. And it reached out west even. There's a few people out west that needed a lending hand, and the fact that the message got across to halfway through the nation, that's awesome in itself. I'm just waiting to hear it out in the West Coast.
Yeah, no, it's really cool that it's gone pretty far and it's gone pretty viral. So
Yeah.
it's cool.
Well, maybe not viral,
Yeah.
but
Not yet. Not yet.
Well,
Not yet.
it's out of Connecticut, you know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right.
So that's viral enough.
Yeah, job
It's about as
accomplished, for
viral
sure.
as we'll get.
And it's pretty
3
cool.
listeners. I mean, we got 1 here, 1 halfway down the state, and the other one.
Yeah, we're just talking into space and
That's it.
pretending we have an audience.
Right.
But it's pretty cool because what we ask in return is you send in your story, whatever it may be, and give us your information. And the only thing we ask in return to help us feel like we're doing our part out there in the USA and Canada, if you're out there, hit us up. I don't want to go shipping too far. I am Mexican. So.
What about Mexico?
Los mexicanos, llámame. But all we ask in return is for you to subscribe on iTunes, write us a 5-star review, and spread the good word. Keep the chain going.
Yeah.
So
Tell your friends.
enough of that kind of safety, but it's in high relation to the main topic at hand. But I want to start it with conservation, because tree stand safety is huge, and we're gonna have a lot to say about that.
Yeah.
So let's start with the conservation and what we can do as individuals even anti-hunters can do as individuals to contribute. Trev, what do you got to say about this subject?
No, I think that conservation is a huge part of what we do every day, and we're kind of the front lines of it. And we got to make that a point. As far as like taking care of the woods when you see things that are, Shabine, picking up trash. Taking care of things as when you're in the woods. I mean, there's a ton of things that you could definitely do as conservation. I mean, getting the crappy deer out of your herd and stuff like that. You see sicknesses, stuff like that. That's definitely a huge part of the conservation. What do you say, Rye?
Well, Trev definitely hit on a lot of good things there, but like D-Rock said, even if you're anti-hunters out there hiking, take care of the land that you're on. Like Trev said, you see a piece of trash on the ground, fell out of someone's pocket, whatever, pick it up. Any sticks in your way. These mountain bikers making all kinds of things out there. Break those down. Take care of the land that you're on.
Stay out the woods, bro.
Take care of the land that you're on. Like Trevor said, if you're out in the woods, you see an injured deer, you see one that shouldn't be in the herd, do your part, and you got to use a tag on it. It may not be the one you're after, but you want to manage that herd while you're out there. Conserve that land, conserve that herd. Just make it what you can.
Yeah, I get it, man. And there's a lot of things that, we could touch on this subject all day long.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing that I like to do as my part, not only paying for either duck stamps or your hunting license or fishing license, any kind of organization that you can contribute, whatever it may be, whatever tickles your fancy, whether it be like a mushroom club or just anything outdoors. Preferably something deer related so we can bow hunt it. But if not, anything outdoors.
Yeah, just volunteer your time. There's always people looking for, like I volunteered on the trout stocking program here in Connecticut, and I did that for a while, helping them stock because they, not having the funds to have these people go out and stock. So stuff like that, giving back.
Salmon too, right?
Yeah, salmon, trout.
That's
we did that for. I did that for three seasons.
And the same thing with bird hunting. You can go out and you can volunteer your time doing a little pheasant stocking as well. So put your little time in. Do what you can.
Keep on speaking into the mic there, brother. You sound better on the mic.
Sometimes I don't like to.
But there's other things you could do though, like Ryan touched on before, even the anti-hunter, the against hunting. What you could do best for that animal or whatever you're trying to protect is invest in that hunting license, because that's one less a hunter could get. Look at it that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come
yeah.
On. And the biggest thing in Connecticut that I love, and probably every other state, I'm not sure, I can't vouch for their DNR rules, but CTDEP, their classes are all free.
Yeah.
Free.
Everything.
All
They're outdoor days.
Go.
They're outdoor days, everything. That's another resource for newer hunters to go to. They're always doing things down there, like, showing you how to skin deer, how to
trap, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, all kinds of crazy stuff. The
even
turkey hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the turkey hunting classes. There's
Yep.
boating class. there's a ton of different things
I don't think the boating one's free, but sky's
No.
the limit in Connecticut.
No, but they always have those like Franklin Swamp,
Yep.
Session Woods. They all have all these
Yeah,
crazy.
the Raccoon Club.
Yeah.
I like that place.
Yeah.
Dude, that's old school.
Yeah.
That's old school, but I love it because they have more soul in them. All the other fancy ones are fucking tremendous looking. They're awesome. They look like museums. But something about the Raccoon Club, man. I feel more at home there. I guess because I'm from the dirty waters.
Yeah.
I believe that's where I took.
Trash?
I believe that's where I took
Big
my
shout out
course.
to them. They're awesome.
Oh, Raccoon Club. Yeah, I believe that's where I took my hunting course.
Yeah, I think
Many
I did
moons
my
ago.
firearms class.
Yeah.
I think I did a land coyote trapping class there.
I actually did mine at Sessions.
Did you?
Yeah, that's one of the mini museums they got over there.
That place
Sessions
is
is pretty
nice.
hot though.
Yeah.
Right across the street, practically, is huntable land too.
Yeah, there's a ton of it. All those places are actually huntable lands.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them, they're like with a permit or.
Oh, but state land, like the state forest
Yeah.
right across.
Yeah,
Yep.
they,
Oh, yeah?
you can
Marlboro.
pull permits. You can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
nice.
a ton of areas over
The
there.
Eastern
yeah.
office over
Yo.
here.
And bears. Bears are all over Bristol. That's
Yep.
crazy.
Actually, we were talking about that with another friend of ours, Vincent. He was in Tunxis this weekend, which is another state forest, and they have a ton of bears in it. Tons of bears in it. And he had a bunch of videos on his Facebook about the bears. It was actually pretty cool.
Cool.
Yep.
I gotta check that out. What was the name again?
Vincent. I'll tag you on
Right?
it.
That's
Yeah.
cool. So moral of the story in this section of topic is conservation. Do your part. There's many different ways. My best suggestion is just going on your local DNR website or DEP website and find out how you can contribute, because it's very affordable one way or the other. Just contribute to outdoors. All right, so let's transition to the main topic at hand, and the whole reason we're doing this episode, and the whole reason we started our charity donation program is tree stand safety.
Yeah.
Now, there's so many ways we could approach this, and I think the most fun way is trying to keep it as simple as possible. How everyone can relate the most is, let's talk about the easiest tree stand that, in your opinion, that a new hunter, old hunter, or even experienced hunter that just wants to get in and out and quick. What is the easiest tree stand you think that is?
I'm gonna go with ladder stand.
Bingo.
I think the ladder stand is definitely the most versatile and greatly used and safest tree stand out there. I would have to say.
Why do you say that, though?
Just because, I mean, you have when you're going up and down the ladder, you have 4 points of contact on that ladder at all times. You know, as far
Can you
as
go over those 4 points for the people that might not know exactly what you're talking about.
so you have hand, foot. So as you're like climbing the actual like stairs.
And then the way it's anchored too, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
With it anchored to the tree, it's just.
What, with like straps or something?
Yep.
All right, cool. And what about on the ground, like the foot pegs? I usually every time I use one, I like to put little 2x4 underneath those pegs so it sinks into the ground.
Right.
Some.
Yeah, because Ryan had that problem with his ladder stand.
Hey, it'll be my
separating.
turn in a minute here. we got plenty to touch on here. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah, it's
We'll
funny
get
how
to it.
Ryan has always got a story to each one.
We'll get to
Yeah.
it.
Let's hear it. What
Spend a lot of
happened?
time in the woods. Oh, I agree with Trevor though. I think the safest, the easiest, the best way to go is a ladder stand. I've got a ladder stand personally, across the street from my house where I hunt, a little private land, and it's been out there for a couple of years now. And I went out there this morning on a blind hunt out of nowhere, and as I'm climbing up, I realized the two sections were actually starting to come apart. I forgot to put pins or bolts or anything in there, and the bottom half of the ladder has started to sink into the ground so much that it's getting to that point where they're just about separating. So. Definitely got to get something in there, but they are one of the best stands to use, easiest stand to use. Like Trevor said, they've got the contact on the ground and it's leaning up against the tree and you're strapped in there. So definitely that's my choice for ease and safety.
You know what? Now that we're on choice of ease and safety, I also got to agree with Ryan and Trevor. The ladder stand is definitely the most beneficial, but it sticks out like a sore thumb. So if it's something that you're not really too concerned about being discreet about, definitely look to invest into that. And I don't know about you guys, but I think it's actually the easiest to use your lifeline on as well.
Absolutely.
That's the truth.
Absolutely.
And they have some new versions of it as well. It's pretty cool. It's almost like a mountain climber uses. It's like a one-way pulley with a release valve. So this way, step by step, you can connect it to your harness, to the lifeline, and God forbid you slip off for whatever reason. Could be a morning dew type of day, and slip off and it's still got a hold of you and don't even have to worry about it. So going from the easiest one, and you can find that anywhere, right? Those ladder stands.
Oh yeah, they go
you
cheap.
They sell them everywhere.
Yep.
Honestly, I'm a sucker for Facebook Marketplace. Not to shout them out, but I mean, it seems like you can find just about anything anywhere in that.
Anywhere on Facebook. Some of those any of those pages, they were just selling 3 or 4 of them on there the other day.
Yep.
Cheap.
Yep. Real cheap.
$100.
Right. So let's go from that, the easiest one. What do you think is the hardest one, Ryan? What you got?
My hardest combo I would go with, not the hardest, but the most dangerous and not the easiest to get up in, would be hang on with some screw-in steps. That's a little more old school, but in my opinion, it's dangerous. Not that I don't have any out, not that I don't use them, but they're definitely a little dangerous and the hardest to use in my opinion.
So what's the most dangerous, the screw-in steps or the harness?
The harness. Well,
Or
of course
the,
you want to have your
stand,
harness
right?
on. I would say definitely the screw-in steps. I mean, there's not much to them to step on. You definitely want to make sure you got a good live tree and you're not sticking in a dead wood, a soft spot when you go to step on it, have it pull right out. But you can catch your legs on them as you're going up. There is not much to them. Your foot can slip right off them. But they are always a good go-to. On private land, of course, here in Connecticut, you can't use them on state land. But to me, in my opinion, those are the you can definitely get in some secluded places, but they're a little more dangerous in my opinion.
You know what? I actually like those. I agree with you 100%. But I do appreciate the hang-ons as well. I'm just not a big fan of carrying sticks.
Right.
Excuse me. Carrying sticks everywhere I go. I like to reduce the clutter, so to speak. So if you could just take a 2-piecer with you and that's all you got. Sometimes, I mean, it's to each their own, really. But
like Ryan said, I mean, I kind of agree with you guys as far as the ladder. I mean, not the ladder. The hang on with the screw and pegs. I think that they're definitely dangerous. The transition from the top peg over to the stand. I mean, that's where a lot of bad things do happen.
And
but
it's a lot harder with the harness too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, well, but there's a lifeline. Normally, if you have those, the ones that I have, they have lifelines on them so that, if you do slip, and that's the reason for it. But that's where you run into a lot of your troubles is the transition from the top to your actual stand. But I don't think that's the most dangerous. I think climbers are the most dangerous.
Ooh, you're right.
Climbers are definitely the most dangerous because there's a lot of moving parts. Shit can definitely go wrong. I mean, a guy like myself, not too agile. So when you get me up in a stand, yeah, kind of, but
graceful at falling.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I move in the woods like a ninja, but I mean, sometimes things definitely go wrong with the climbers. I mean, sometimes, like today, we got on them harder oaks, man, and they weren't digging in as much, and it was slipping. It was a little crazy, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. I got a fucking tick bite on my arm, and it's killing me.
Oh, boy.
Oh, it's that time of year, man. No, not yet, but it was fucking tiny, dude. Whatever. That's what you get when you live in the woods.
Right. Hey, I want to touch back on the climbers. Actually, I want to go over the hang-ons we were just talking about, what they are for the newbie or someone that maybe never even used one.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people tend to go hang them up first prior to the season, especially on private land.
But there's some creeping and climbers too that guys that run and gun.
Sticks and hang-ons.
No, right. But with the hang-ons, all it is as a description is a platform to stand on with. Most of the time, 2 cables and a seat. And that has its own straps that you climb up there with sticks, and we'll get back to letting you know what sticks are. You climb up with sticks and you hang them up high to your benefit, and you just leave it up there, and you call it a day. And they have some fold-up type that it makes them more discreet so they don't stick out like a sore thumb, because you don't want everyone knowing your spots. And the sticks, what are the sticks, Trev?
The sticks are just 5. I think, what are they, like 5 feet? They come in 5 foot
usually
sections.
4 or 5 foot sections.
I don't know. I'm not a big stick guy. I don't use sticks. So they're in like a 5 foot section, and they have steps that are.
I want to say it's closer to like 3 foot.
Is it
sections? Yeah.
And they're just arms that come off of the main thing that are staggered up as you go, and as you go up the tree. So you put in your first stick, and then you get to the top, and then you ratchet in the next one, and you go up. That makes the transition a little bit easier, though.
Oh yeah,
a lot of those guys, because they get them past their stay, they get them past their stand, and then jump onto the deck.
Right.
So I mean, it's definitely easier. I mean that when I was talking to Kyle Landers, when I met up with him for the safety harnesses, he was telling me when he was coming down, because he's one of those creeping and climbing guys who just run.
Climber?
Yeah, man, he just runs with his sticks and in his stand. And he was coming down off of one, didn't have a lifeline that connected him from the top to the bottom, and with the sliding knot, he didn't have one of those, and he got down like 1 or 2 sections, and ended up that it came off when he was going down, and he fell, and he twisted his ankle. Wasn't far from the ground, maybe 5 feet, I guess.
Still, that's far enough.
But yeah, he was limping around. It definitely beat him up.
It doesn't take much.
No,
doesn't take much to fall
it's a
from.
scary thing, man. I mean, people don't realize that when this stuff happens, that it's not pretty. Falling from things is not fun.
And it's crazy because, when you're out there, personally speaking, especially me, I'm a newer deer hunter myself. I've been doing it for technically only about a year and a couple months now, or a year and a month or something. And climbing up, I always found it easier to just take my time and not necessarily focus what I'm doing, but just kind of go through the repetition of motions from practicing, and you just take your time and go do it.
Yeah.
Versus, because I know my heart gets racing when I get to my tree. Like, I'm ready. In the morning, it could be
It's on.
crack of dawn. Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking on.
I'm ready to take something. And I don't even know why I get so hyped up like that, because once you're up in the tree, it's like you still have to wait for daylight. You know what I mean, we gotta be ethical and wait for daylight. So it's like I work myself up for nothing. It seems like sometimes.
Like today, I mean, like we were creeping and climbing, and we get up to this new area that we came across, and there was just tons of sign. The most sign that we've seen in this property yet. And I mean, my adrenaline's going. I'm freaking out, man. I'm like, it's gonna happen tonight, man. We're in big buck country, and like, there's droppings everywhere. There's runs. I mean, it's just out of control.
We did see deer too.
Oh yeah, and we jumped deer. I mean, we're just out of control. So now you're hustling to try and get up the tree, man, because it's on. Like you know, you're all fired up. I mean, so you definitely got to take your time and definitely be safe about it, because it can go wrong pretty quick. I mean, we were trying to go up those big oak trees, and like I said, man, it was some hard trees, and you're not really locking in the most when you're going up on a climber and stuff like that. I mean, there's so many stories that I mean, in the small group of friends that I have around here that hunt, you know, at least two of them have fallen, you know. And I was talking to one of the old guys who gave us the new private land, and he was telling me about a good friend of his that was an archery hunter, older guy, used to always do a ton of archery hunting, and he ended up falling out of the tree stand and dying. And this was in the past couple of years. And this was right here in Connecticut.
How old was he?
I think he was late 50s, 57, I think he said. And he was a big-time archer, shot tons of big deer. He set his stands real high, but he had fallen out of his tree stand. Yeah, and it was a hang on with steps with pegs.
We won't mention the name because we don't want to do bad karma. Whoever's out there doing the hang-ons, because you know what, that's a freak accident, and you know what, it is.
No, I mean, you could.
There's a way to go. That way to go.
You could fall out of any stand. It's not. It's. I'm just referencing that it was that. You know what I'm saying?
Anything could happen is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is like, if you're gonna go, at least he went doing something he loved to do.
Deer hunting.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, it sucks the way he went, and our hearts go out to him and his family. But at least he died doing something that he loves to do.
Yeah, but you have to be aware of those things. Like, you know, like on the fishing boat, we bring to your awareness like all the possibilities that could happen. You know, you don't want some newer person going out into the woods not knowing the repercussions of what could possibly potentially happen.
Yo, I've been thinking about that actually, the ocean for a little bit. Not to get off track, but real quick, I think us three in here with the ghost hunter, we should definitely try to target something that we talked about before.
Yeah.
The ocean.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Good fishing.
No, absolutely.
Good fishing.
I don't want to talk about it too much.
No, we can definitely get in fishing.
People can use their imagination.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to bring a new level of game from the East Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Define East Coast bow hunting.
It's about to happen.
So transition to, actually that's a good transition about falling out the tree and picking a tree. We need to go over the types of trees to climb that's best to climb and picking a good tree. Ryan, what do you got to say?
Ryan's good with the trees picking.
I like to I got a little background. I know what a few trees are. But good go-to is always an oak tree. I know we touched on this a little bit in, I think, the first episode. Of course, not only is it going to be a good sturdy tree for you, but you got acorns above you as long as you got a good year. We've had a pretty terrible year with the gypsy moth, so not a lot of our trees are producing acorns this year. But of course, like I said, a good old oak, a maple, and like Trevor said, you know, we were on a little bit of harder oaks today. They had to have been some sort of red oak, but of course it was a good sturdy tree. We weren't getting as much bite as we wanted. You got to watch out for those trees that got the shag bark on them. Of course, your birches, your beeches, those are tough to really get a good bite on. But of course, your maples, your oaks, pines really are tough because usually got a ton of branches. You can't get up very high, and they're usually the ones that break first.
I just ninja my ass up them things.
That's when you get the hang on stand and put it wherever you want. But yeah, you want a good hardwood tree, with some decent bark to get into.
I like them ash trees.
Ash are good, yeah.
They're
ash
a little
tree.
more slick, correct?
No, they're actually a lot softer.
Yep,
Yeah,
soft,
yeah.
softer bark. you
Softer,
can
so
dig
they'll
into.
really bite in. My fat ass gets on there, wiggles it, and locks it right in, you know?
Yo,
That climber.
honestly, on a nice dry day, I like them birches. It makes the climbing super easy, especially coming down.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We don't really get too many
They're out here.
birches.
They're out here, though.
Yeah, but not on
Not
the
big
top of the
enough.
mountain.
Yeah, not big enough to put a climber on.
No.
I don't know, man. I beg to differ. I went and stopped at the local liquor store.
Oh, yeah?
As soon as I got into Coventry and picked up some Elijah Craig, my good old boy. And they had this big-ass birch tree. Something you could climb with. Like, you could climb up there. I swear to you.
Why are you looking at me?
Which package store was this? Which package
the
store
one
was
right
this?
off the highway. The one right off the highway. I walked around, take a leak, and...
Oh, yeah, we won't name any names, but,
Yeah.
yeah, they used to sell us booze a long time ago before we were of age, but...
Yeah, that's how Ryan turned out the way he did.
Oh, come on. Shout out to that package store.
Shout out
The
to
old
Becky.
guy used to work there.
Yeah.
Making people dumb since 1981. Oh, man. So, yeah, let's get back to the types of trees. And what kind of tree you think is best to climb, though, in your opinion, Trev? Since, I mean, you're a bigger dude, and you got your own segment, Trev's Bloopers, for a reason.
Yeah, actually, we had a blooper today, actually.
Really? Let's touch on that, actually.
So I was sitting up in the tree stand. Now, mind you, me and Ryan had double oaks side by side. So we're right next to each other, and we're hunting and this, that, and the other thing. And he's like, dude, you know how to get back? And I'm like, yeah, bro, I know how to get back. I said, but the only problem is I forgot my fucking headlamp. I'm like, we're 2 miles in the woods, and I don't even have a fucking headlamp.
Oh, shit.
So that was my blooper for the day.
I had one, don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't drop yours this time?
No.
No, not this time.
All right.
Yeah, that was my only blooper. I almost forgot my bow, actually, because I
Yep,
walked out
before
and
we left the
I got
truck,
it all loaded up, got my climber on my back, and I was like, I think I need a bow. I almost left without it. If I hiked all that way and no bow, I've hiked all that way and forgot my arrow. Oh no, my release.
Yep.
That sucks, and I had a
That's
shootable
why
deer
you're
come by me.
spare now, right?
Oh, damn.
For,
Crazy.
Latter episodes.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But I would definitely, going back into tree stands, I would definitely, as far as trees go and stuff, I like the ashes, the some of the oaks. I mean, that's like my favorite thing to go into. Just because you can really set into it, you know? Shagbark, no good. Don't go shagbark. I've slipped on some shagbark and done some really bad things on it. It's not fun.
I wish I was videotaping you climbing shag.
No. When it gets dark in the morning, you know?
You should
You
see
never
him
know.
try to quietly eat peanuts in his tree.
Oh,
stand.
don't
I got a good selfie of that I sent out on Snapchat.
And then I realized that I forgot my fucking water, too. So I ate peanuts, and I'm like, yo, bro, you got any water up there?
Yeah, so I got a bottle full of water, and he's tugging on it. We're 2 miles out in the woods, no flashlight. I'm like, we need to save this water.
Yeah. He's
I'm
like,
up to the next level.
yeah, eating fucking peanuts. And it's like, what, 2 o'clock? We got like 4 hours to go.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So let's get before we get too rassled up, let's get back to the tree stand safety. We've been talking about it now. Let's say our favorite one is the climber. All three of us do.
Oh, we're all big
climbers.
Love it.
And what we do is ninja status through the woods, creeping around, and we pick our tree and we climb up wherever we saw sign 20 yards off, or sometimes 30, depending on the shooting lanes, and we find a good tree. We're climbing up that.
Or
way.
sometimes just right on
Yeah,
it, 'cause
right
that's
on
really
it.
the only tree that you can find.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but what-
Sometimes it does end up that way.
D-Rock, if I can bump in for a minute here. One thing I love to do, especially with this big new property we got, is I'll push in a little further every time I go. When I go, I'll put a camera out, and unfortunately, it's kind of a week in between where I get my days to hunt this piece of property. My days off on Monday. So I'll put a camera out to the spot that I was sitting, and I'll check it first thing when I get there. If I got nothing on camera like I did this time, I'm pushing in, I'm going further. If I got something on camera, I'm going to go ahead and stay right there. But we pushed right in. Trevor and I both put cameras out on 2 different runs at this new spot. So next time him or I go in there, we're going to check them and decide if that's that good spot where we need to be, or if we're going to push a little further to a different area. But
And the climbers make it real versatile so that you can do that. You know, just move
Right.
around.
leave it. Yep, leave it.
I mean, you could do it
Well,
with
a
climbing
quality
sticks.
one. A quality one, though.
Yeah.
Because if you're like me and you go with the cheapest of the cheap all the time, you're gonna learn the hard way that steelies aren't the way to go. That's like last resort. If you have to resort to a steely, you better start working out because lugging that through the woods.
I mean, you get it. Like what we do is it's one carry in.
Right.
So all you do is you carry in.
Right?
Nope.
No. We just when we go into hunt, we hunt our first hunt. We leave them in the woods,
Put the
and
camera
then
out.
and then we move around throughout. Say we sit there that night and we're like, oh, this one's not good. Then what we do is the next morning when we come in or the next time we come in, we just move it to wherever we want to go. And then we say, like Ryan was just saying, you put down the camera. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, now you're moving. Now you're just moving yourself strategically throughout the property, checking out different places. And I mean, that's something that you can definitely can be done with climbing sticks and a hang-on. It can be done with... I wouldn't do it with a ladder stand, so you're not real mobile with that. That's one of the negative things.
With a team,
Yeah.
which is somewhat illegal.
Right.
You just can't push them one way or the other.
Right. But I mean, it's just one of those things. But that's just how we do it. We creep and crawl throughout the different properties, just checking things out. I mean, it just makes it versatile for us. But I mean, going back to the whole
creep and crawl, like creepy crawlers.
Creep and climb.
That's funny though. No, that's actually really good information.
But as far as like tree stands go, though, you definitely have to check them. You have to maintain them. You can't just put them in the woods and hope for the best, because it's not going to happen.
It's your life on the line.
That's a huge thing. As far as we have some buddies of mine, I mean, we can go on with stories for hours. I mean, of friends I've gone to go set up. Setting up tree stands alone. Don't ever set them up alone.
No.
You have to bring somebody with you. Like, always bring a safety buddy to make sure. I mean, I've gone to go help buddies set up ladder stands.
Let someone know, right?
At minimum. But you never know, man. Setting them up is every time we set up stands, we set them up in pairs. Because if something is to happen, we've had a buddy of ours went to go set up a ladder, improperly set it up. It was too much on an angle, and the ladder collapsed within itself, and he fell out of the tree. I was at the base of the tree and watched this whole thing happen. We've gone and I have a buddy of ours, Matt, who climbed up into a stand that he had just set after he had shot a deer, and he went up in there, and the strap, it was brand new strap on a it was a Millennium stand, seat stand, that was a hang-on, and he went up in it, brand new strap. The brand new strap let go, and now the top buckles down, and now he falls out the tree, hugging onto the tree as he's coming down, and he got the climbing stick right in his throat, and he ended up having to go to the hospital.
That's crazy.
And not only that, he drove himself. I called. I was like, yo, you want me to call the ambulance to where you're at? He's like, no.
I got it.
No, I'll drive. Just stay on the phone with me. I'm going in and out of consciousness. Just meet me there. I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. But it's definitely a scary thing.
And you know what? It's funny we talk about creep and climb. It's kind of the thing to do in Connecticut, and a lot of people do it that are more versatile anyways. And the reason being is because, number one, there's so many deer in Connecticut. And yet, all deer genetics are different, from coast to coast. There's obviously where there's more farms, you get better genes and better antler growth and more mass and whatnot. But the best part about Connecticut, there's so many that deer are used to seeing hikers, power motorsports, mountain bikers, that at worst you'll push them, they'll wait till the noise goes away, and then they go back to wherever they were chilling at.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is the nice spot. That's pretty badass of Connecticut. That, like you said, you guys pushed some deer going back in, but after you guys set up, you saw some coming back, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Actually, we had an instance over this week that happened, and the hikers had gone through. But you got to stay tuned to episode 6 for me to let you know what happened in that one.
Yeah, we got a couple good stories for episode 6.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I got some stuff. These boys came down from Maine, and these guys hunted with me for 4 days straight, out of control. It was Connecticut's finest at your fingertips. You got to pay attention to episode 6 because it's deer camp style, and we're gonna let you know some stories that happen.
That's crazy.
So
that's crazy. Are we shouting out those Maine boys? What they represent? Or
nah, we'll shout them out in episode 6.
All right.
You got to stay tuned.
Yeah, we gotta keep them on the edge of their seats because they're gonna listen to episode 5,
right.
and then
Those picks were sick too.
Yeah, so we got some cool things. So
Nice.
The main boys are gonna have to wait for us to shout them out on episode 6, and then hopefully we'll have them there for shortly after on.
Word. That's what I'm talking about. So before we get off of the climbing, what is the most important part about a climber? And we'll transition out of this section.
Oh, when you're using a climber, you have to attach the top to the bottom. That is the number one thing when it comes to climbers.
A+.
Oh, A++. I win. Wiener. No, but you definitely have to connect the top to the bottom. As far as taking paracord, maybe 2-3 feet of it, or maybe I would use probably 4 feet of it, and attach the top to the bottom. And another thing that we do all the time, and I took a picture of it today. Let's see if Ryan can get an A+. What is one thing that we do for safety when it comes to a climber?
I'm gonna take putting a screw in step for $100.
Yeah.
No, yeah. You take
Yeah.
the screw in step. We talked about it in episode 1. You put it underneath the cable. That way, if it happens to slip, your teeth slip, you're not going all the way down to the ground. It's just gonna catch on that hanging stick.
And for reference, we've talked on and off about the whole screw in stake and how you're not supposed to have it on state land and this, that, and the other thing. I talked to multiple people that say that as long as it's for safety, it's not going to be a problem. You definitely 100%. If it's going to save your life, you're not allowed to have screw-in stakes. Yes, I get it. But you're going to screw in your bow holder. You're going to screw in all this. But this is life-changing. So to have something like that is not a problem. Right. Especially when it comes to state land. Because state land, you're not supposed to have screw-in stakes, but they're going to understand.
Basically, the rule is so you try to steer away from it when you can. But Trev brings up a good point is if it's going to be life or death or safety...
Nobody's going to say no.
Yeah, they're not going to say no.
Nope.
We don't condone it, by the way. We follow the rules, but you'll be all right.
When it comes to saving your life, you know, I'm sorry.
He pulled over with a little bag. He's like, I'm sorry, officer. Here you go.
He's going to take it and put it in his pocket anyways.
At least in Connecticut, they might.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that's actually a good time to transition out of that section of tree stand safety and bring us back to what we've been touching on is checking your straps, your cables, and in my fat ass, my case, the welds. Remember I showed you guys my cheapy steel?
Yeah. We were talking about that today.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Because he's like, yo, you gotta go get your stand that's in one of these other parcels that I hunt, and I'm like, for what? It's a fucking piece of shit. He's like, what, is it that bad? I said, bro, it's almost as bad as D-Rock's fucking climber.
I use the shit out of mine.
He's like, I know, we need to get like a GoFundMe or something for you so we can get you a new
If anyone wants to donate a climber stand to D-Rock here.
No, I'm just kidding. We'll hook you up. We got plenty of them.
No. Randy Sr., actually, the one who donated.
Oh, that's right. You got a new tree stand. I forgot about that.
Lone Wolf. And he gave me this old school aluminum one for free. It's like a Cadillac.
Come on.
Is it a tree lounge? Lounge?
Yeah,
I shot my first deer at a
old.
tree lounge. Those things are awesome.
It's so old, but you know what? That's a good one to put in my private piece and just leave it there.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
This way, it's something I got for free for one. It's so old that I don't think someone's going to want to lug that shit out, to steal it. It's not even worth stealing.
Right.
And it's perfect. It's just one that's out there that I don't even have to...
One of my buddies has this one. It's called a tree walker.
Yep.
And it's backwards, so you're actually facing towards the tree as a climber.
Yeah,
it's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
It's a gnarly tree stand.
Yeah.
But yeah, you definitely have to check your welds. Definitely check the welds. And I have a problem on my climber, which I need to order some new ones, is always keep up to date on your straps on your climbers.
Yep.
Cables,
The cables.
Especially if you use hang-ons and sticks. It's like, check your straps because, they're out there all season, get rained on and all types of weather. That stuff gets old quick.
Yeah, dry rots.
Right.
And it gets into the tree sometimes. It'll grow into the tree. Over time, obviously, and when that happens, you just want to check on it because that's going to rot away too.
Right.
And your ratchet straps, they're cheap. You buy, that's your life. It's for $20.
I'm not a big fan of those ratchet straps. That's what I mean. It's like
I always change them out. I get the big bulky ass ones.
Right.
I'm a big boy.
Nah, yeah.
He's not that big.
Oh, as a matter of fact, there was not to get off subject again. It's what we do all night. But that one guy that reached out to us from the mid. Well, actually, no, he was Ohio. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
he said he's 6 foot, 330 pounds, and he can't find a harness that fits. We have anything like that laying around that we got?
No,
Not
I
yet.
think
Not yet,
that
right? I told him we didn't have anything, but
On
poor
that,
guy, you know, he just wants to continue doing what he loves to do, and he's agile enough to get up a tree. He just wants to be safe.
he's just a big boy.
on that note, D-Rock, we're also looking for some youth harnesses. Anyone that's got some
Yeah.
youth
Oh,
harnesses
yeah.
that would like to donate those to us, we got a couple people looking for some youth harnesses.
Three now, which
And,
is not a lot compared to the
no.
rest of them, but three kids want to get into it.
Right.
Come on, guys.
We'd like to get them hooked up safely. Of course, the children, they're the future of this sport. We'd like to get them hooked up properly. We've got some, universal size harnesses now, but they're of course not for big dudes or some
Yeah.
youth. So
Yeah, definitely youth. Youth is a huge thing.
of course,
I mean,
always
that's-
are.
I do a lot with a lot of different youth programs and stuff like that, and they're just it's great to have these kids in the woods.
So I figure if you could find a harness laying around that we got as donation that fits you loosely, that should work out for homeboy out there. You know what I mean? Because you're not that big.
No,
You're
but the
big
problem,
too,
my
and
problem
it's
is that
loose.
they're rated up to 300 pounds.
Really?
Right, but they're not the size of them. They're not big. They're not big,
Right.
Yeah, but he said he was 330 pounds.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not rated big enough for him. These are only
Not many
300.
stands are either though, but I mean, even if he has something, right?
I'm sure the Summit Goliath, that kind of thing.
The
Those
Goliath
are
is
made for
definitely
bigger
big enough.
boys.
They do the 500.
We
Yeah.
gotta look into that. Maybe one of our 22 listeners out there can help us out with that.
Yeah, chime in. If
Yeah.
anyone's got any information on that, chime
Yeah,
in.
hit us
Yeah,
up.
help us
Feel free,
up.
Hit us up.
Hit us up on social. Don't be scared. We're just like you. We work every day and we try to get in the woods every day and get tick bites just like you.
Hell, we'll even give you Trevor's cell phone number. He gets enough phone calls
Yeah,
now.
we'll get that out. We'll get that
Stay tuned for episode 10. We'll give that out.
out. yeah, right. That's crazy. So yeah, connecting tops and bottoms, picking out trees, and just going down the list. We're actually doing really good on this and elaborating on everything. New straps on hang-ons. We went over that as well.
Is there any
Yeah.
tree stands that we didn't cover?
Saddles, but we don't get. That's not a stand.
Well, actually,
That's
the last
wholly different
at
topic.
hand
Okay.
in this section is the saddles.
Saddles. All
What
right.
do you know about saddles?
Um,
Honestly, I don't really know.
I don't know much.
I
about
don't know
them.
a ton about it. I know they're very versatile. One thing I was thinking about recently is getting a pair of gaffs for my boots, going out there with a little saddle and just gaff up that tree and hook up. But I don't really know a ton about them. I don't know how.
Shank that tree up like a Mexican.
Yeah,
there's a
all
lot
right.
of there's a lot of groups out there,
There are,
that
of course.
that on Facebook and stuff that talk about them all the time,
The
constantly.
gaffs or the saddles?
Saddles.
The saddles.
Saddles.
So I mean, I'm not a saddle dude.
No, I don't think I could do a full day hunting a saddle because you're sitting in a harness. I mean, it's a little more comfortable, of course. It's designed for that, but I couldn't sit myself.
These
in
guys
a
say
full
they
day
love
rut.
them. You get
Yeah.
270 degrees around the tree most of the time. I mean, that's pretty insane.
And they have a little like
Platform.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A little I was gonna name.
Sorry, I didn't
name
mean to
the
cut
name,
you
but
off on that.
That's all right. That's I'm used to it, man. I'm a little Mexican. But yeah, supposedly these saddles are very versatile. I'm not a believer yet. It's one of those I've tried every other type of stand out there. I'm gonna have to try the saddle and then give it an honest review. Everyone that uses them loves them though. You know?
Yeah,
I have not
there
seen
was
one bad review yet. Have you?
no, and there was no the one guy that I know personally who's a friend of mine. He started using a saddle a couple years ago, and he swore by it. And I mean, anybody that I've ever talked to that got into the saddle hunting, or you hear podcasts of it and whatnot, these guys love it. They're all about it. And like, for example, for today, like when we were out hunting in the woods and we had to set up in these oak trees and it was right on the run, and we couldn't get into any other trees because we're on the top of the mountain and the cover or the tops of the trees are a lot lower and there's always branches and stuff, and you just can't get into those ideal places, and that's where the saddle comes in handy. You can virtually get up anything you ever could imagine. You want to go up a pine tree? Send it. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I hear
not a hard thing at all.
It's cool because there is an alternate out there for all your new guys and even veterans out there. Shout out to Andrew at Wild Edge Inc. You know, doing the deed. He's going, nationwide with his stuff. It's a definitely really good alternative to the sticks. And what it is just steps. He's producing them steps for
Right.
Yep,
whether
I've
it
seen
be a
those. I've seen
hangout
those.
or-
Yep.
Yeah,
He's right
hang
here
on
in
a
East,
second.
East
Connecticut.
Hampton, Connecticut.
Yeah.
East Haddam, I think.
East Haddam.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
think it's East Haddam.
Yep.
And
East
you
Haddam.
know what? It's funny because I was at the Durham Fair the other day, or yesterday, as a matter of fact, and I saw a couple Wild Edge Inc. hoodies out there roaming around. I'm like, oh shit! Like,
Yeah.
man,
I
just
seen
do
him a
it.
ton of
That's
times
sweet.
here in Hartford. He was at the sportsman show in Hartford. He had a booth set up with the Wild Edge.
Nice.
Pretty cool, and the whole story behind that's pretty crazy.
Why? What you know?
No, just that those things are just wicked cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
they're a neat product.
The way they work.
They're wicked awesome.
Yeah, wicked.
That's what you're saying, Boston. Wicked awesome. I think they'll fix the car.
Talk about a cub in the boatyard.
So yeah, on that note, sorry for all the people out there. We don't know too much about the saddles out there. What we do know, there's good reviews, and again, to each their own. Everyone has their own favorite tree stand, and that's something fresh to the game that everyone's jumping on right now. I'll stick to my climber.
Yeah, stay safe.
Yeah. Well, not
Take
even
your
just
time.
that, just something about the climber, man. I feel more badass.
Take a nap.
Yeah, that swinging seat is where it's at, but I don't know. There's a ton of other crazy stands out there.
Got your old wooden stands made out of 2x4s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you see one of those in the wood all beaten down, you know
Well,
you're in a good spot.
Well, actually, we this week we got to hunt out of some ground blinds and stuff, which are actually pretty cool too. That was a blast. Like they were up on stilts, and they had platforms, and they had roofs on them with windows, the whole 9 yards, with chairs.
That's cool.
I mean, they were sick.
For all our listeners out there, that'll be coming up on the next episode, episode 6, hunting tactics. So keep your ears open for that next week. But,
We're just dragging them along here. Take this leash.
Yeah. Follow me. But yeah, it's crazy.
He's gonna pickpocket you now. Watch out.
Watch out. Man.
I actually don't have pockets, so.
I thought that was a banana.
You carry a banana in your pocket? Oh.
But in current news and social media, it's crazy, man. I texted you the other day. I didn't even know if we should even touch on this subject, but we could use this name because by now I think everyone in the archery world might have heard of this or even touched base. We won't elaborate too much, but I thought it was the funniest shit ever, only because we're new to the game, so any kind of free publicity that we could get out there, whether it be any podcast station like iTunes, iHeart, all of them that we're trying to get on and are on. We also like to promote IG, FB, all of them. You know, and be in and current. And I'm always strolling through the archery news and stuff to see what pops out at me. And the one thing I guess that's how you could tell I'm from the dirty water now. I see drama pop up. I was like, oh shit, it's getting on.
I gotta get on it.
Oh, man.
Following.
And on one specific website, which will remain nameless, it's where you can get goodies, buy or sell archery stuff. And this one nigga, Billy Lewis.
Yeah, selling
was all
fake.
flooding this website. I was like, who the hell is Billy Lewis? Like, who is this dude?
Right.
I don't know. You know, I know everyone. I don't know this dude. Like, what's going on here? And there was some crazy pics going on.
What was he doing though?
Well, what this guy was doing, he was actually, I think it started off as a trade, first and foremost.
Okay.
He wanted to trade something for something. I don't want to elaborate too much because I'm trying to keep it somewhat discreet, even though everyone knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
Right.
He was doing a trade for trade. Come to find out, he manipulated these people enough to send them their trade first somehow, or saying that he sent his out, and someone was sending him his stuff. Yeah, I swear to you. And don't quote me on this, but I have all these great pictures off of social media that I really want to post them on our next
On Instagram.
Well, I'm just saying what we touched on, but I don't want to blow up his spot. I mean, shit. Everyone knows about him as it is. He had like one of his like.
So he's straight stealing shit? Just straight stealing.
Straight up. And he's not Mexican.
He's not even Mexican.
Yeah. Just for all our new listeners out there, I'm very sorry if you're Mexican. I'm Mexican, de Monterrey, Nuevo de León, Mexico, and if just in case if that wasn't legit enough, you can find me and slap me in the face. I'll let you do it. But
Everyone
this is
loves the Mexican, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone loves the Mexican because like I've been talking to my boys and they're like, yo, the Mexican, he's fucking good.
I'm saying, we'll weed your garden and go get the kill for you and drag it back.
That's
You know, it's like, what more do you want? But yeah, like to touch back on this Billy Lewis, I don't want to stay on it too much, but I just thought it was funny, and everyone out there can relate to. Is like one of the stories, like, so bought a Matthews Halon 32 from this guy 2 weeks ago, paid through Cash App. Says he sent it. Couldn't show me shipping confirmation. His girlfriend is saying he was killed in a car accident.
Are you?
Hey, you know what? Shame on that person for sending the money first.
Yo.
If you're stupid enough to do that, then you deserve to get ripped off.
Well, he'll
That's
end
all.
up getting his money back though, anyways.
How's
right?
he gonna get his money back?
I don't know.
From
Well,
what?
he should have done it through PayPal then,
Yeah.
because the PayPal has PayPal insurance.
That's crazy. And then the other picture that I saw, which is crazy, breaking news, Billy emerges, and it shows a picture of a priest with light glowing behind him. So it says, car wrecks proven futile. Heaven has Matthews. You know, it's crazy, man. They had a picture of Bruce Jenner out there, and it says, it's a meme of Bruce Jenner. It says, it all started when I changed my name to Billy Lewis. He's going incognito, guys. So stop looking for a dude. You got to start looking for a woman.
Yeah,
I believe Bruce goes by Caitlin.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
No,
One of the
I think he
funniest
does.
was-
that's crazy. Well, so he's just straight playing people.
Straight up. The funniest thing that I saw, you know, I'm a little social troll. You know, we kind of have to be to
Right.
follow our stuff. So
Of course.
see what's current, what people like, what people don't like, and we want to talk about what everyone's on. And the funniest one that I saw, and we'll end it on this one as far as Billy Lewis, is like, in the same website, trying to promote any lone wolf tree stands for sale out there, except for you, Billy. Yeah. Oh,
That's gonna
man.
go on forever.
Yeah.
It's never gonna end.
The Billy Lewis.
The
Stay
Billy Lewis.
Away. Oh man. So
Should that be Ryan's new name, Billy Lewis?
Oh, come on.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
Hey, let's do a quick question and answer. And you guys can think of a question to ask me since I'm not as experienced. But I have a good one that I actually pulled up that I wanted to pop quiz you guys. This is really tough.
Yo, you trying to put us on the spot right now?
Yeah, I am putting you on the spot, but it's really tough. So if you get it, you are the man, and I'll bow down to you. The coordinates, Coventry coordinates. What are they?
Hoo hoo hoo. That's
Slayer
I
tough.
Studio.
have no
Slayer
idea.
Studio.
Slayer Studio. I should like.
I have no idea.
I don't know, and I'm pretty nasty
You're
with
gonna
coordinates.
give out
That's
the
what
coordinates
pisses
to
me off.
Trevor's
Yeah.
studio
That's why I asked-
here.
well, no, not the studio specifically, just Coventry.
Trev, we'll have to get the deer sign back on the garage come
Yeah,
season
I
here.
guess so. Oh, she'll kill me.
So the Coventry,
all right.
Connecticut coordinates is 41.78 due north, 72.33 due west.
Well,
That's
I
a-
hope that you never have to give me coordinates to anything because you just said all the coordinates wrong.
That's exactly.
All right, then you say it. How do you say it?
Let me see the phone. I'll tell you how he said. So
This is the sailor.
So
Hang on,
it's-
he's got to
it's-
get the phone in the right direction first.
it's oh, you did do it right. It's 41.7847 degrees north
Yeah.
at 72.3393
That's
degrees.
exactly what I was
west.
gonna say. That was my guess.
Well,
That was my
degrees,
exact
yeah.
guess.
I thought we were
Degrees,
on
just
the
so
same
you
page.
know, right?
No, I
Yeah,
thought we were
northwest.
Sorry.
It's
I thought
all
we were
right.
on the same
Trevor's
page.
nautical intelligence. Is
Yeah,
coming
but
out
yeah,
now.
but is this so? Yeah, whatever. So is that
GPS.
that's GPS coordinates? Yeah.
not to the studio here, but to Coventry itself. Don't go
Yeah.
looking for.
Well,
Trev's
you can go there.
house.
You probably end up at like fucking Bidwell
Right.
Also a decent
because
place.
it's probably to the village.
So question and answer. Ryan, you go.
So we're asking you a question, huh?
Go ahead, shoot.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
no,
just
you can ask me or
Slap.
whoever.
Oh man, what
Slap me.
what's our topic?
You
What's
said
our
the
topic
they
here?
can slap the Mexican, right?
What's our top? We got a topic right
No,
now,
just
or-
just something you would like
man.
to ask D-Rock.
Something or Trevor. Well, yeah, you can ask me too, and then I guess if you want to slap me, I could take a hit.
No, I'm just fucking with you. Me ain't
see
trying to
here.
get like that.
D-Rock,
Why not?
do you have a headlamp or a flashlight in backpack that you carry with you?
Yes.
Okay. Trevor does not.
I have both.
No, I took
actually
it
have
out
a
because I was
little lamp,
working.
too. Like a little stream light. lifetime warranty.
Yeah, see, you guys kind of caught me on the spot.
No, but I
here.
kind of have.
no idea
I
for a
have an
question.
actual flashlight that I carry too. But I just didn't have my headlamp. My headlamp. I took it out to work.
Bro, me being a mechanic, everyone out there, if you could swing it, it's not pricey. It's very affordable, but it's lifetime warranty, and they're all rechargeable. Almost all of them. Streamlight. Look for Streamlight. They have headlamps, lanterns, flashlights. All you could think of. Glow sticks, light sticks.
Yep.
They're actually a little bit more money, but I just picked up an Ozark Trail from Walmart. That's rechargeable, plugs in right into the cigarette lighter, and you can just charge it on the go.
Shout out to Walmart again.
Yes, of
Walmart.
course.
Prevails.
I just got stuff from
Boom!
there
Get
the
me
other day.
on that.
Yeah.
I'll take a sponsorship, Walmart.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hell yeah.
Be like, here, you get Ozark Trail. Ryan would get like the fake ass Yeti fucking beer koozies. And
Yeah, absolutely.
For the Shabine.
And my coffee. Got
Yep.
coffee.
Oh yeah.
That would be sick at Walmart sponsor. You kidding me?
Hey, Walmart, what's up?
Walmart, where you at?
Yeah.
we get slick tricks.
All kinds of stuff. No, we buy all kinds of stuff from
I'm
there.
saying, you get Slick Tricks, Callaghan's, everything.
Drippers.
Ozark, yeah.
Yeah, Nikon. I could outfit my entire. I do outfit my
Shit.
entire.
I might
Fuck.
just
Now I
start shooting
remember.
a bear.
Actually, yo, on some real shit, Bear just came out with a new bow.
I'm just saying.
Did you see that? I don't know. I was in the woods, so I couldn't like actually watch it. But Bear just came out with some badass new bow. I need to go back and look at it, but that's actually something to look into. It's pretty sweet.
I'm sold on the ritual, but I did notice that bear.
I'm a elite guy for
Yeah,
no, but I'm just saying.
I'm
like,
over here being real confused right now, Trev. You talking about shooting a bear?
no, I was in the tree stand and I saw that Bear came out with a new one. We went in conversation.
But I hope we covered all topics of the tree stand safety and Billy Lewis. Not really Billy, but the tree stand safety is the most important. I hope you guys really learned something. And if there's something you want to add on, give us a shout out so we can insert it in the next episode. And
I know this was kind of like it was a jam packed kind of not as fun. It was a lot of information that needed to get out there.
Yeah, but you know what? Everyone needs to kind of recap on their stuff because we're the blue collared individual, just like everyone else out there. There's some white collar like Mr. Walt Redbeard out there. Who knows who he is? But we try to touch base on everything, and when you're running around and you try to squeeze in a hunt, your stuff is usually ready to go, and we'll touch that in the next episode.
And Rut's coming, so everyone's about to get in the woods.
What first
for the most?
The early rut.
A little pre-rut. We got some information. If you stayed tuned to episode 6, got a little information on what the younger bucks are starting to do here.
Hell yeah! So on that note, stay stepping.
Stay slaying.